Hello, I'm with Katrina Patterson today, which is a real pleasure, and on the theme of our upcoming event, which is here, Society C or 3, you can see the wording on there. We are going to be talking about pre and perinatal birth psychology. Over to you, Katrina.
Thank you, Catherine. And I'm really looking forward to the event that's coming up because part of the work that I've been researching for about the last 3 years is the area of pre and perinatal birth psychology. It's a field that's been around for about 40 years. And very few people know about it. It's a bit of a mouthful when you say pre and perinatal birth psychology. But basically what it is that so many people don't realize that the baby being carried in the womb is sentient and with it and knows what is happening, going on in its surroundings, even if it doesn't have words to say it. And I've discovered 2 organisations, one in the UK and one in America, who have a wealth of information that can be shared with people. And we'll put the information under the details of our upcoming event so that people can follow that up. But the thing that is so important to all of us is that we were all born. And as a storyteller, one of the things that I used to ask people as an icebreaker is, what is the story of your birth? And that's a story. If people don't know what happened, that's a story. Or if people do know what happened, that's a story. But very often, the story is from the point of view of the mother. And that's where all the impetus, all the attention goes. But we coming into the world have a big part to play. And if we are allowed to do that freely, it's much easier for the baby. But the way that society likes to think about birth now is that it's a medical intervention. You have to go to hospital. It's timed. Everybody is treated the same. But you and I know from our health work that everybody's an individual. And some babies need longer in the womb than other babies if they only had the opportunity. So it's an absolute miracle, that whole movement and everything that happens, how the baby comes into place or not. Because just recently I've heard that one of the reasons that babies might be wanting to not turn around and have something that's sometimes thought of as difficult, a breech birth, is because actually the baby doesn't want to leave the sound of the mother's heartbeat and the sound of the mother's voice because it's safe, because perhaps there is something unsafe with the partner, or maybe there's even a war going on outside. Many of us baby boomers, me, I'm a baby boomer, were very affected by what happened during the war. So when I was living in my mother's womb, she was living on rations. So, you know, I had probably quite a restricted diet, which may or may not have been a good thing. So the whole of the surroundings and the environment. In fact, I heard recently on a documentary about prisoners in America that they could often relate bad behavior to what was going on at the time of them, you know, the mother was carrying the baby in the room. So it has been said, if we can make birth better, we could get rid of hospitals and prisons to remove that trauma.
That is absolutely fascinating, and I think we need to talk more about this, as you've said. And it's so interesting that it's called birth control.
Exactly.
that comes into it as well. I mean, you know, when we're talking about control, that's something that is talked about. And what you're saying is making me think about my experiences, you know, as a mother. And I think it's such a great conversation to have this. So this isn't something that we're specifically talking about at our event, at this one, but it's all on the theme of this, the different agendas that are going on. So it's an important one to look at. Anything else that you'd like
I'd
to
just
say?
like to add that, you know, some midwives who've gone out to faraway islands find that the whole medicalisation of births is going to places where people could use their group wisdom in order to birth a child, but they are expecting the midwives that turn up there to bring all the accoutrements that come from a worldwide government that wants everything done in the same way.
Gosh, that is very, very, it's very thought-provoking, isn't it? Thank you so much, Katrina. And just to say that we are going to be doing longer videos on these subjects, and health generally, because I think they're really very much of interest. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for the opportunity.